Hello, Henry here, and welcome to Xbox On. Next month, we'll see the release of the last ever limited edition Xbox One console. I know, it is a sad time, but this generation is going out with a bang. The Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One X, which is coming out in June. While we wait to get our hands on that gorgeous bit of kit, it feels like a great time for me and Bex to look back over more than half a decade of limited edition Xbox One consoles, and bring you a brief history of our favourites from this generation. These were all general release retail consoles, just made in limited numbers. So if you're lucky enough to own any of these, nice one. Feel free to brag about it down in the comments.
First of all, let's rewind all the way back to 2014 and the very first limited edition Xbox One ever made publicly available. And, funnily enough, my very first limited edition console. Arriving almost exactly a year after the console originally launched and codenamed Project Anvil, it's the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Xbox One. This is the original model back when the S and X were still a twinkle in Microsoft's eye. But right from the start, you can see the same design ethos that has carried through to today.
There's one reason why we create special and limited edition products, and it's for the fans.
And that's visible all over this console, with tons of tiny little details that are pure COD, like the etch on kill count and firing mode selector on the controller, and then there's the console itself. Designed to look a little beaten up and worn, just like the weapons you use in COD, contrasting perfectly with the gold detailing to make sure those shiny bits really pop. The whole package is all themed after the Sentinel task force you join in Advanced Warfare, featuring their Spartan helmet icon. That's the ancient Greek kind, not the Master Chief kind, by the way, although we'll get onto that in a bit.
Next up, a limited edition console that was released to mark not only the launch of a landmark Xbox One title, but also to celebrate the 10th birthday of the Forza franchise as a whole, the Forza Motorsport 6 Xbox One. And if this console's design looks familiar, it's because it was inspired by Motorsport 6's cover car, the Ford GT. Obviously, it's got that same blue paint job, split between a sleek gloss finish and smooth matte, but there's also a high gloss racing stripe that wraps around the console, and custom sound effects that make pressing the power button sound like you're revving the engines for a high-octane gaming session. Then jumping over to the bundled controller, you've got these lovely satin finish triggers, inspired by the GT's titanium components. This was also one of the earliest controllers to feature rubberized diamond grips, making it feel that little bit more like gripping a steering wheel and making sure your hands stay perfectly in place, even during the tightest photo finishes.
Okay, we promised you Spartans, and here they are. The Halo 5 Guardians Limited Edition Xbox One is a great example of one of the core concepts behind these consoles. They're not just designed to be pretty, but help extend the story of the game they're tied to.
For us, it's how do we take this object, which has to have actual function, and tell a story through that piece of hardware.
This one's inspired by the Spartan 4 armor worn by Halo 5 co-star Jameson Locke, with reflective blue foil finishes to capture the blue light hologram look of so much Halo tech, and some beautiful little details that go deep into the series lore. There's a high polished surface on the front of the console with the same gleaming hex pattern you might recognize from Master Chief's visor, and right next to a string of numbers that refer to the 24th of July 2557, the date of the raid of the Ivanov station in Halo 4.
We designed them as if they're a piece of the game that fell straight into your living room.
The console came bundled not only with a controller and a copy of the game, but also in-universe briefing documents, including a dossier with info on all the Spartans in Fireteam Osiris and Chief's Blue Team, and even a metal Guardian statue for you to build yourself. Oh, and just to complete the set, there's also a limited edition Master Chief controller featuring an incredibly neat touch. Chief's own Braille marking is indented into the back of the pad. And just in case you can't read Braille, what it says is of course 117.
Next, we're on to our first limited edition Xbox One S, and a truly unique console design with the Minecraft limited edition. You're not going to be mistaking this for any other console, thanks to the distinctive blocky grass and dirt design on the front. And because the Xbox One S was designed to stand horizontally or vertically, you can flip it over to reveal a real treat. This is the first Xbox One model ever made with a transparent casing, showing off a glittering redstone trail that runs from the inputs all the way to the power button. That's right, this console runs on redstone. Okay, just in case anyone out there tries playing one of these unplugged from the mains, I should point out I don't mean that literally, technically speaking. But it's another beautiful example of that storytelling approach to design.
Take a look at the NBA 2K20 Xbox One X Special Edition. As you can probably guess from the name, this console came bundled with a code for NBA 2K20, at least it did in the US. Here in the UK, the console is actually known as the Hyperspace Xbox One X, thanks to a unique design that looks like an inverted starfield. You've got a white casing with an added splash of colour. Literally, because it's covered in little dots that look like they've been flicked from a paintbrush right onto the console. These dots form a gradient that goes from purple on one side to blue on the other side, and the colours are really vibrant. To fully appreciate the effect, you really do need to see it in person. And of course, there's a matching controller, which is mainly a nice clean white, but with the same splatter effect on the D-pad and magenta face buttons, which matches the lettering on the back of the console. This one is a real work of art, and it's actually still available to buy, so you can still scoop it up.
We've already covered a few of the big Xbox One releases that launched with their own custom console, and one of the series that has always done this brilliantly is Gears. Gears of War 4 emerged with a blood-spattered red Xbox One S limited edition in tow. It seemed like a pretty hard bar to clear. And then along came the absolute chef's kiss of a design that is the Xbox One X Gears 5 limited edition. With a never-before-seen dark translucent casing and laser-edged cracks, the console looks like it's been dipped in ice with a golden locust symbol on the back hinting at the past of Kate Diaz, Gears 5's breakout star. Kate was also the inspiration for the accompanying controller, which is based on her armor with a cool snow-weathered effect that's enough to give you chills. Honestly, the design team outdid themselves with this one. It might be the most beautiful and distinctive Xbox One design yet, at least until next month.
And so we found ourselves back once again at the last limited edition Xbox One ever made. The Cyberpunk 2077 Xbox One X. What a journey it's been, and you can see the culmination of everything the Xbox design team has been working on across nearly 6 years, all within this one console. From the split design right down to the little details and the same effort to continue the story of the game into physical form.
We decided that the console should look like the city. It should be exactly this eclectic mix of different styles present on a single object. Kitsch on the front face of the console and neo-militarism on the back face.
Like the world of Cyberpunk, this console looks like it's been hacked together from a dozen different technologies. The top of the console is made up of multiple panels, all with their own markings showing the in-universe corporations who made them. And then there's the laser-edged lines dividing each section. The whole thing looks a little banged up and rough around the edges, connecting right back to that original COD design. And then you flip it over and spot the sleek corporate design of the backside, which has been tagged with glow-in-the-dark graffiti and a logo for Samurai, the band whose lead man is Johnny Silverhands, aka Keanu Breathtaking Reeves. Johnny is also the inspiration for the accompanying controller. This is the first asymmetrical design the team has ever done, with one half the controller matching the console and the other half overtaken by sleek silver bionics, just like the cybernetic arm that gives Johnny his name.
That's the first time we've actually done like a mismatch between the triggers.
Every part of this console is absolutely packed with brilliant cyberpunk details. It really does feel like a chunk of Night City that's been pulled into the real world. Even the HDMI has been customized so it looks just like the ones in game. The console can be yours from June with a code you'll be able to redeem for Cyberpunk 2077 when it arrives later this year. And don't forget, this game is smart delivery, so it'll work on your Xbox Series X too. There are only 45,000 units available, so you'll want to jump to it when these go on sale.
So that's our pick of some of the best limited edition consoles from the Xbox One generation. Whether you own any of the ones we've talked about or just wish you did, let us know down in the comments, leave us a sub and smash that like button. We'll see you next time. Bye!